Hello, today we're going to be making spicy Moroccan chicken and rice. Now you can either use chicken in this dish or you can use corn chunks. I'm going to be using chicken here. I've got 2 chicken breasts and they weigh 350 grams. I'm going to show you how to prepare meat. So you'll notice I've got a red chopping board because I'm using raw meat. You have to be very careful with cross-contamination when you're using raw meat. So you can either cut this into chunks using a knife or using scissors. So I'll just show you using a knife first. You want to, claw grip at the top here to hold the meat steady. I've sharpened my knife so it's cutting through the chicken very well. So it's up to you how big you make your chunks. I think I'd probably chop these in half again like that so that they're not too big, and then the meat will be better distributed through the product. Or you can use scissors. So I'm only going to use these scissors for the meat, and then I'll put them straight into the dishwasher to avoid cross-contamination. So you might find it easier to do your chopping with scissors. So you prepare your meat like that, and then we're going to put it with our Moroccan spice. So there's my chicken chopped. I'm going to put it into a bowl like that, and then I'm going to put my chopping board and my knife and the scissors that I've been using over by the sink so they don't contaminate anything else, and I'm also going to wash my hands well with warm water and soap. So I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of Moroccan spice seasoning, or I've got harissa paste here, in with my chicken. 1 teaspoon like that. And then I'm going to use a spoon just to mix it in together. You could do this with your hands and massage it into the chicken. If you do that, make sure you wash your hands again because you've been handling raw meat. So you can see that's just mixing in like that. And then when we move on to the next stage of the recipe, this chicken can just be marinating in the harissa paste until we're ready to use it. So I'm going to chop my onion up now. So I've got a clean chopping board, a clean knife, no cross-contamination with the raw chicken. So to prepare our onion, same as usual, cut off the tip, hold it down to start peeling the onion, cut off the root, hold that down, that helps us, and then peel all the brown layers off, and then the other nasty bits you can see on your onion, move those off of your chopping board so they don't end up in your product. So bridge hold over the onion, knife through the bridge, drop the knife to cut the onion in half. Now today we're going to be slicing our onions rather than dicing them. So we're going to use our pincer grip or claw grip at the top here to hold the onion steady. And then we're just going to do thin slices of onion like that. And then when we put those in the pan, they'll break up. That last little bit there, you probably need to do a bridge over the top and just cut down your bridge like that. So to fry our onion, we're going to fry it in 50 grams of butter. Now that looks like an awful lot of butter, but in a Moroccan dish like that, it's the butter that's going to give the onion a lovely depth of flavour. So that's why we've got so much butter in the pan. So I'm going to turn it on to high and just gently stir my butter so that it melts down. So I'm just gently stirring my butter across the bottom of the pan to make sure that the heat of the pan is melting this lump of butter. I don't want it to burn, so I'm encouraging it to melt down nice and quickly. We're nearly there. When it's nearly melted, you can add your onion. So you just scrape it in like that. Give it a stir. Start to break up those onion slices. So you should end up with lots of lovely little pieces of onion. I'm going to turn that down now to a medium heat and just leave the onions to cook while I prepare the other ingredients. So I'm just going to work down my list of ingredients now. I need 300 grams of rice, which I've got weighed out into a bowl there. I want 12 dried apricots, halved. So you can choose how you cut these in half. You can either use scissors or you could use a knife. but I think scissors are actually much easier for things like this. So chop your 12 apricots in half. So there they are, all chopped up. Then I need 1 chicken or vegetable stock cube and 700 ml of water, boiling water. So we can unwrap the stock cube, so that's ready, or you could peel the lid off of your little pot if you've got a stock pot and crumble that. I'm just going to crumble it with my apricots because I'm going to add them all at the same time. Like that. So that's ready to go in. And then I'm going to put the kettle on to make sure I've got 700 ml of boiling water ready. And the last ingredient is a can of chickpeas. Now chickpeas come in a water which needs to be drained before you can use them. So you need to get a sieve like this. Take your sieve over to the sink, tip your can of sweet peas in so that the water goes down the sink and you're left with the chickpeas in your sieve, and then just give them a little rinse under the cold tap. So my onions have taken on the colour of the butter now and they've gone lovely and soft. It smells delicious. I'm going to add my chicken, like that, and then I'm going to turn the heat back up to high just while I fry off the chicken. So you'll notice when you put the chicken in the pan, it's very sort of pink and definitely raw. You can tell it's raw. And one of the most frequent questions we get asked when we're making this product at school is my chicken cooked yet? And we do have to be very careful to make sure the chicken's cooked right the way through. So I'm going to leave this cooking just for a little while, and then I'm going to show you what the chicken looks like when it's half cooked. So you can see this piece of chicken has gone white and it looks like it might be cooked. So what I'm going to do is to cut it in half to check that it's white all the way through. But actually you can see that it's pink. So it's raw in the middle still and cooked on the edges. So that needs cooking until it's white all the way through. So I'm going to check my chicken again now. I want to choose the largest piece of chicken because if that piece is cooked through then everything else will be. So I'm going to cut it in half again, and you can see this time that it's white all the way through, which means that the chicken is cooked and I can move on to the next stage of my recipe. So I'm going to stir in the rice in my bowl and my apricots. Throw those in so that the rice gets coated in all the lovely buttery juices. And then I'm going to put the water in. So my stock cube's already in there because I've crumbled it on top of my apricot. So now I'm going to add 700 ml of boiling water. So that's 500, and then I need to measure out 200 more. Pop that in, like that. And my drained chickpeas from my sieve. I'm just going to gently stir everything, so stirring from the outside into the middle, and that will stop all the ingredients shooting out of your pan onto your hob. So the heat has diminished a little bit at the moment because I've put lots of extra ingredients in. I'm going to cover my pan and simmer it for 10 minutes. So I'm going to turn it down to a medium heat. So simmering is just gentle bubbles on the surface. Boiling is lots of fast bubbles. We want simmering, lots of gentle bubbles. So that's gone to a lovely simmer now on a medium heat. And then we'll come back in 10 minutes and check and see if the rice is tender and if most of the liquid has been absorbed. So my 10 minutes is up and my Moroccan chicken looks lovely. All the liquid's been absorbed, so if I wasn't going to be serving it straight away, I'd probably add a little bit more liquid when I reheated it, in case it gets a little bit dry. So the last thing I need to do is to add some lovely freshly chopped flat leaf parsley. So here's my parsley. You don't need very much, this is an enormous bag, so I'm just going to take it out, scrunch the top up like that, and just run my knife through just to chop up a little bit like that. I'm going to stir that through And then when I serve it, I might just pull a few little individual leaves off like that, just to pop on the top of each serving to make it look extra beautiful. So my chopped parsley, just going to add to my pan like that, and then give it a very gentle mix, just to distribute the parsley through my dish. So that's going to add some extra flavour, and it also brings some lovely colour to your product. And I'll show you like that. So I hope you enjoy your spicy Moroccan chicken. Please send us some photographs on the Google Classroom so we can see how you've got on baking at home. And we'll see you next time. Bye bye.